In '89, I was feeding my herd out of the silo. My production on 37 milking cows was about 630,000 pounds. In '90, we wrapped high moisture bales, and with fewer cows, we had over 70,000 pound increase in milk production. We had fewer problems with fresh cows and calving. The herd was healthier. It lowered our cost of protein feed and, of course, increased our milk production.
A couple of years ago, we began to use alfalfa haylage to feed our brood and beef cattle. Since then, we cut out all protein supplements and still maintaining these cattle at or above their previous performance levels. The cattle increased their intake of good quality feed, which of course increased weight. They're much healthier. We got fewer cases of pneumonia at weaning, fewer colds, less stress. The brood cows are in better condition to calve this season than ever, and that's a direct result of using alfalfa haylage. Since we're so new to the system, we don't have a whole bunch of facts and figures to document this stuff, but there's a whole lot of folks like me out here, and we're all having the same kinds of results.
We've been brokering hay here in Ohio for years, and we've never been able to take the weather out of haymaking. With high moisture bales, well, our first cutting is harvested mid-May, and then we'll do a second, third, and fourth cutting, about every 30 days after that. In fact, if we wanted, we could harvest our fifth crop in late September, some years even October. And let me tell you, that's one great schedule for a hay producer. We're dealing with a quality product. Once a farmer sees it, uses it, watches his cattle eat it, he sees the value. And then when his milk production goes up or his fat cattle increase their consumption and weight gain, well, I'll tell you, most of our selling's done. In fact, last year we sold our bales for $65 a ton. They weighed about 1,200 pounds, about 19 to 22% protein. But I'll tell you, it was the easiest hay money I ever made. And everyone was happy with the product.
They're talking about a system, a silage system, one that seals in the freshness of high-protein feed and converts it into a highly palatable and digestible high-energy product. A system that improves the health, milk production, and weight gains of your dairy herd and beef operations, and reduces the supplements and additives and other livestock inputs that directly affect your profit margins. It's a system that requires less equipment, less storage expense, less maintenance, less horsepower, less fuel, less labor, and fewer trips across the field. A system that allows you to feed a much fresher, more valuable, more leafy hay package because each one is individually wrapped. At Vermeer, we call it silage baling, and this is the heart of the system. The Vermeer 504 Silage Eye Baler and the Vermeer Silage Wrapper. No big expensive storage systems here. No choppers and wagons, no mower conditioners, no blowers, no extra tedding to dry down the crop. It's simple, it's efficient, it's inexpensive. The 504 Silage Eye Baler is designed specifically for high moisture baling. It's built heavier than nearly all the other small diameter balers out in the field today because, quite simply, it handles a much heavier package. It has a 5-bar pickup with rubber mounted tines, so you get smooth feeding action in virtually any crop or moisture condition, no matter how heavy the crop. It has a much heavier wind guard. It's equipped with a spiral starting roller. And this special steel-hardened lower drive roller has a knife attached to eliminate buildup. See this optional bale monitor here? It not only times your weaving patterns across the windrow, but it also monitors the amount of hay being fed into each side of the chamber. You also have standard bale restrictor plates on these units. But the most important thing is that it helps you create a neat, clean 4-foot wide package that's easy to load and haul, especially if you're selling hay commercially. Good density, good weight, good bale formation. That's the key to baling haylage. That's what this machine is built for. And this is the quality of the product it produces. Now you're ready to wrap, and this is the machine that does it. It seals in the freshness and quality of your silage product. It takes the weather and moisture problems out of making hay, and it allows you to increase the profitability of your livestock operation, whether it's dairy, beef, or sheep. When do you start? As soon as possible, preferably within 2 to 3 hours of harvesting, because the rule of thumb says that you lose approximately 1% protein per hour after a certain period of time. So timing is important, and so is the ability to create an airtight package. Notice how tightly and securely the silage wrapper seals the bale. By compressing the bale with stretch film, you create a compact, first-class silage product without using preservatives. One that's individually sealed, so you avoid large and expensive losses. One that's weather-resistant and acts as a barrier to rodents. One that's easy to handle and transport. The process is very simple. Take this front-loading Vermeer wrapper, for example. When you set it up with optional remote controls and an optional cut and start system, you can do it all. Load, wrap, and unload, all from the tractor seat. Here's how it works. See these heavy-duty front-loading arms? They can lift and set a bale that weighs as much as 2,500 pounds onto this hydraulically controlled turntable. After that, it's pretty simple. You engage the drive system, and as the bale spins and the table turns, this 20-inch wide plastic film stretches and tightly wraps and seals the bale. Bumper discs keep the bale from shifting. This special cut and start device slices the plastic film. And when you're finished, the bale is gently lowered to the ground. Now you're ready to start the next bale. It's that simple. Any minimum 25 horsepower tractor with an auxiliary remote hydraulic circuit can handle the job. Plus you have a host of other options, like this bale wrap monitor, which not only counts the number of bales wrapped, but it also records and displays the number of turntable revolutions, so you know exactly how many layers of film have been applied to each bale. You also have a hydraulic swing tongue, which makes it easy to load the bales. For the other two models, which aren't equipped with front-loading lift arms and tailgate, this optional drop mat helps to reduce the chance of puncturing the film when you're dropping bales on stubble or rough ground. Vermeer gives you 3 different wrappers to choose from. The one you've been watching here is the front-loading trailer-mounted model, but you can also select 2 other Vermeer silage wrappers. One that's set up for the 3-point hitch, or a more economical trailer model that operates without the special self-loading arms and the automatic cut and start system. When you're done, you end up harvesting your forage much earlier. You get it when it peaks, at the ideal time for quality and maximum yield. And you feed a product that's better for your herd, one that doesn't have to wait and cater to the weather and the dry baling process. In essence, it means you can maximize your feed value because now you have the technology to keep it, package it, and serve it the way it should be served, fresh from the field, without all the extra preservatives and protein additives that eat away at your profitability, without losing valuable time and forage quality to the weather, without all the extra equipment and storage facilities to protect your forage product, without the high degree of dry matter loss and heat damage that you experience in sealed silos or stave silos, or even worse, pit silos, and without the bale bags and tubes that don't seal properly and require extra hands to load and unload. Studies show that the dry matter loss in silage bales is almost 3 times less than that of sealed silos, and over 10 times less than pit silo methods. Imagine the savings alone just in keeping a quality product. You're witnessing a revolution in the process of harvesting hay and feeding a quality hay product. The old days and the old ways of baling and feeding may not ever die, but they will definitely change and evolve. And those who are able to adopt the newer methods, the newer technologies, they share the future and the rewards that go with a better product, a more efficient product to produce, a less expensive product to maintain, and the higher production and profit margins that go with it. We welcome you to the world of silage baling, to the future, and it's happening right now with Vermeer.